Welcome everyone to Nerd TV for the season finale of the Sim Racing Points Truck Series. We are at Kansas Speedway tonight, and as we saw last week, Bobby Terrell, that number 4 Chevrolet, is claimed the championship. So he gets a little freebie tonight. Gets to try to, just race for fun and try to maximize on getting another trophy on his shelf before this season comes to a close. But as always, my name is Jeremy Stanley, and to my right, Pashibia Nick, man. How's it going over there for Kansas?
It's going good. Don't see any tornadoes in the background, so we should be clear tonight. You mentioned it, Bobby Terrell wrapped up the championship, so he's kind of sealed that. The only thing really that we can keep an eye on is the rookie battle that we have going on. Nicholas Casey and Simon Maggan, those two are going to be going at it. We had Chuck. He was only 13 points behind those guys, but I don't see Chuck here tonight, so we might have to just keep an eye on those two and see who's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Chuck's he's in the server. He hasn't turned a lap though, so I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure exactly what his plan is, or if he's just having a late start. But yeah, he's here. He's just not put down any times just yet, so we have no idea what that truck's going to look like when it comes to qualifying or race session. So, but Fury Motorsports 1 and 2 right now to take over practice here in this last 30 seconds or so. So those two are looking pretty bad fast, and Tony Solari sitting there in 7th place right now, just a 10th off of them. So look out for Fury Motorsports really to kind of close the season out with a strong note.
And they need to do that because they're only 20 points ahead of Rumble Racing right now for the team standings. So what a better way to come on out than the last race, and like you said, finish practice strong and hopefully carry it over momentum to qualifying in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. I know the points race is done for the champion anyways, but there's still some points to be had. 6 points separate Nicholas Casey in second and Simon Magdan currently sitting in third, and then 7 points out of Simon is Chuck there in fourth. So, and then Richie's 3 points off of him. So there could be some change-ups here from second through fifth, really. So that's definitely something we're going to keep our eye on for you guys out tonight. Obviously, Bobby's got this thing locked in, so let's see what part he plays. But this is a little bit shorter of a Martin Sports pre-race show, but it is coming to a close because qualifying is out, and we have to have our time to thank everyone that allows us to do this for you guys every Monday and Wednesday night for the Full Throttle Sim Racing League. First and foremost, the league themselves, FTSR.net. I did say this is the season finale. In 2 weeks, May 27th, we're back at it in the trucks at Charlotte. What a great way to open up season number 2 of 2022. So if you're looking forward to get into a league, right now is the perfect time to sign up with one of the best leagues out there in iRacing, with Full Throttle Sim Racing. So head over to FTSR.net. Go to the registration page, sign up in the... it's a pretty thorough little setup there to get you in the league. It's not just, hey, you're on board, because they want to make sure you're a good quality driver. So they'll definitely take care of you, though. Once again, FTSR.net. And then Sim Racing Points, the official truck series sponsor for tonight's event, and for every truck race, and of course, as part of Nerditudes as well. Recently jumped on board with us, so much thank you to Sim Racing Points. But it's a program that, since we've discovered them, we definitely wish we'd found them a lot sooner. With their fully integrated website software that keeps track of all your points, all your results, any type of stat you really need to keep. This software is definitely going to take care of you, and then more with widgets for your website or full page displays at a pretty good price point too, considering all the work they do. So if you head over to simracingpoints.com, check out all their pricing plans and get your league set up today. And then thank you to Martin Sports, home of these sim gloves of all sim racing. So basically, the glove it's awesome. It gives you super grip holding the wheel. It keeps your hands super dry while you're racing. And I mean, of course, the gloves are great, and it's backed by a lot of drivers out here in iRacing. But they also do full customized T-shirts, hoodies, hats. We got nerd swag. You got pre-orders up for one of our gloves, one of the gauntlet versions for Nerditudes. It looks pretty badass, really. And take advantage of it when you go do the pre-order. If you want to get a pair, use the code SUPERNERD at checkout for 25% off, and that is at martinsports906.com. Thank you to iRacing iFlag, the official flag partner of Nerditudes. It's a 64 light emitting diode LED matrix system that displays any type of flag that iRacing throws at you. Also displays indicators, whether someone's high or low, or It's up to 30 different notifications that this device gives you. And it's a small 4x6 3D printed object that sits on your desk. It's simple, easy to install. Just one software to help run it. And it's great, super bright, keeps you focused on what's in front of you because, you don't need to look at it. It's super bright. It just hits you in the face. And you know exactly what's going on at all times. You're going to go over to iRacing, iFlag, and pick up one of those products. And make sure to use Super Nerd at checkout for 15% off. Thank you to the Butt Kicker, the official audio enhancement provider of Nerditudes. You're going to head over to thebuttkicker.com. Pick up yourself the Gamer 2 unit. It's that much needed immersion, that feeling in your seat that you need to perform at your peak performance. Gives you all the bumps and feels of the racetrack directly into your sim rig or your racing chair or whatever you're really, racing in. And when you do so, whatever you purchase, make sure to use Nerd TV at checkout, 20% off anything that you purchase. And shout out to Nerd Focus, the official energy partner of Nerditudes. You're going to use Super Nerd at checkout for 10% off, and that's at www.nerdfocus.com. And they only have 2 flavors. It makes your choice easy. Do you like sugar or do you not like sugar? Either one's great tasting. Personally, here at the Nerditudes, we usually go with the blue one just because sugar-free, and that's all what we prefer. And especially 2 of them being diabetic, it's you got to take care of yourself sometimes, and you pick up with some energy as well. So it keeps you hyper focused on whatever you're doing. Once again, that's nerdfocus.com. And also shout out to Moonlight Speed Concepts, the official asphalt setup provider for the Nerditudes. Professional like setups built from the ground up, and they have a really good price point to get you your much needed wins on the columns. Coming down to the last 4 weeks in iRacing's official seasons. Our sessions are before they hit week 13. So if you're looking to get a couple wins before season it comes to a close on the official side, make sure to head over to moonlightspeed.com, join their Discord or their Twitter. It's a great community to be part of. And like I said, it's a good price point for an awesome setup. And then also on the dirt side, we got the House of Speed, houseofspeed.us. Same deal. Professional like setups. It's going to get you any type of W that you need on the dirt oval side. You go to houseofspeed.us. You can also find them on Twitter as well. And same deal with the Discord too. They're going to help you out. They're going to kind of coach you and provide great setups at the same time and also at a great price. So once again, houseofspeed.us. And that's going to take us right to the race grid. Looks like qualifying is done. So if we can go down the top 10.
Yeah, going to be taking the pole here is Richie Coy. Going to be right behind him, your champion of this season, Bobby Terrell. Starting third is going to be Claude Furwin. Fourth is Jonathan Varanakis. Fifth is Nicholas Casey. Sixth is Zach McDaniel. Rolling off seventh is going to be Brian Bliss. Eighth is Stephen Verman. Ninth is going to be Simon Madgen. And 10th, Lane Allen.
11th place is Andrew Palicki. 12th place, you're going to find Alex Murphy. 13th place will be Tony Solari. 14th, Tommy Brandon. Kenneth Scholes starts in 15th. 16th place will be Martin Garreau. Starting in 17th will be Brody Hanna. 18th, Mark DeBriel. 19th, Luke Brown. 20th, if he comes onto the track, Chuck Sweeting, which actually he did grid. So no qualifying, no practice for him. So it's going to be a completely green surface to him. 21st, Wayne Grassi, and a round out tonight's field. And 22nd, Steve Loomis.
And I saw Chuck run a couple of laps there in qualifying. I don't know if he hit the wall a couple of times, but he was out there, so he might have been trying to just get something down before he gets out on the track. And don't forget, Wayne, he corrected us there on that last name, Jeremy.
You know what? I told him on Monday I would not mispronounce it, and guess what I did? I mispronounced it. Grassi. I've always said Grassy. No, it's wrong. It's Grassi. So I have to make that.
He's going to have to get in the top 3 to get you again.
You know, he probably has to. I've had a whole season of getting used to these guys' names, and then apparently, yeah, he wanted to wait until he got the top 3, which that's rightfully so. To call me out on live TV, that's fine. And it didn't work though. You would think it would work, but with me being me, that didn't work apparently to start off tonight. So Wayne Grassi in that number 7 Pennzoil Chevrolet. And I know he's starting in the back, but don't count him out. He's made a lot of surprise runs, and we should probably see him up in the front relatively quick here. But we do have about, I think, a half a lap left before these guys are setting sail for the turn 1. That number 4 truck on the high side of Richie Coy. He's got the championship locked up. He's just here to put another trophy on that shelf. So let's see if he can get that job done. Richie Coy leading this field a little further than normal. Waiting for Larry to throw that green flag. Let's see if he's on time, and he is. He is perfect again. So he just dropped the name late. He has fixed himself. And we are headed off into turn number 1. And Bobby Trell with a great start there. He saw the 19 with that little bit of lead off. It gave him a little more wiggle room to jump the start a little early. But 19 right now on that inside with a good amount of grip almost clears Bobby off of turn number 2.
Still heading side by side here. Jimmers are heading down to turn 3 and 4. Great battles here on the top 5 and all around the track. Everyone's kind of keeping it clean, coming off of 4 here. Get across the line with our first green flag of the night. Oh, nope, we got Tony Solari up on the wall. Few cars, quite a few trucks around here in the infield and everything.
Yep, I think that's the broadcaster's curse right here. You said clean, and then they said nope. They wadded them up early. Turn number 4. It looks like initially the 42, if I'm not mistaken, that being Zach McDaniel. We haven't seen him in quite a few weeks, and he comes in here, gets in that middle groove, and just got a little loose. He saved it. And then Tony Solari just drills him in the rear. We see the 31 involved, Brody Hannon in the 23, quite a few others. Ken, this brings out a pretty big wreck here on lap number 1.
Yeah, it must have been that broadcaster's curse, like you said, just talking about it, and there it was. And I think we got about 5 or 6 trucks there that took damage. Some not so much, and some like Tony Solari a little bit more. And Zach as well, he's going to have some damage that he's going to have to get repaired from getting run in there by Tony. So going to have a couple trucks already out, and we're maybe not completely out, but like out of contention early. Yeah, we can see right there, hard hit for Tony.
And that was the number 31, Alex Murphy. That was his onboard camera as he slammed to the back of the number 11. Martin Garreau also in the 50. One of those trucks that got collected a little bit later into that wreck. So it looks like a total of 6 trucks. They got some damage off of that. Kind of a really bad start for some of these guys. They put down a lot of lap times in practice, and it's just part of racing, but you really just hate to see it for these guys to prepare, especially for the season finale, right? Go on a strong note, and then something like that happens, and it's just not a good feeling.
Yeah, that's, especially like you mentioned, if you come out here and run 50 practice laps, that's pretty much halfway through the race, and then get into the race on lap 1 and don't even get through it. It's kind of, disappointing and all that practice you put in. But like you mentioned, that's racing. It happens sometimes. And some of these guys, maybe they can get damage fixed up and get back out here. And we kind of seen as of late, it's like a little bit, everyone's trying to move up as quick as they can on the first lap. And we've seen a couple of wrecks here in the past few weeks on the first couple of laps around. And then after that, they kind of green flag run. So I'm going to not expect anything different, Jeremy. I think we're going to have a long green flag run again like we've had the last couple of weeks after the first couple of cautions.
Tommy Brandon, also one of those guys that got involved, that being the number 35. Himself, Tommy Brandon, and Zach McDaniel have left the server. So 2 trucks already calling it quits early due to engine damage. Not a good start there. And everybody else, the other 4 trucks involved, have some work to do to get those things repaired. But the pace lights are out on the car, so they have there was a pretty quick caution overall, I would say. So they're still in pit road. Brody Hanna is number 11, Tony Solari. Fury Motorsports not looking too good. They're going to be relying on Richie Coy here for their speed to carry the team unless those trucks are fully repaired. But right now they're going to go several laps down. We see the number 50 as well, Martin Garreau. He's catching up to the field. He's off of turn number 2. He will make it before they go back to green flag racing. But yeah, let's see if this restart can be a much cleaner start.
I'm surprised to see Brody still on pit road. I thought he would have just a little bit of damage to repair, but it looks like Brody actually, I think Brody's actually going to be calling it quits tonight as well. It sounds like over the radio here, getting reports. So let's put Brody out as well. That's going to be 4 cars that's out, Jeremy. So tough break, first start. So we're getting ready to go back green flag racing.
Yeah, confirmed Brody Hanna will be done for this evening's race. That's definitely unfortunate, but going back to green flag, Mr. Late Larry, or just normal Larry at this point. Here we go. Maybe he'll get a new nickname before the season 2 starts. But green flag is out, really spacing it out. Richie Coy trying to get every ounce of an advantage there into turn number 1, which he does. So he clears number 4 of Bobby Terrell. He's going to bring Claude Furland in that 43 with him on the inside. But number 4 is not going to give up. He's got the number 27 as well of Jonathan Varnaskis on his outside, or on his bumper rather. Heading off into turn number 3, minus the leader. They're all side by side.
Yeah, great start for Richie Coy there, getting that lead. But Bobby Terrell's fighting back on that high side, Jeremy. He's got a great run here as they're coming across the line. Richie Coy's bringing it down low to get a little extra speed, but Bobby Terrell with that awesome run. And watch out for Claude Furlan. He's taking a look also.
Yeah, don't count him out. He surprises us a lot of the times. He doesn't qualify the fastest, but when he gets onto the racing surface for the actual race, he shows some dominant speed, especially early on. And at this point, it looks like he's strong. He's about to pass the number 4 of Terrell, and he slides almost into the left front of that number 4. Does not do it though. Kept it clean. He's going to still battle him for second place. And this track is progressive banking, Kenny. So as much as the leader, 19, Richie Coy, wants to see the side-by-side racing, that progressive banking, racing side-by-side doesn't really affect you as much as some other tracks.
Yeah, it's like you said, not much of a effect that's going to be taken for side-by-side racing, and going to build up some good racing that we're going to have today. And you see some of these trucks kind of shifting up, as we saw Claude a couple laps ago get really close to Bobby Terrell, more so on that inside going up to the top side there. But we should see that probably most of the race as well. But great battle here that we got going on. But a good side-by-side battles here within this top 5. We see Richie Coy still leading the way, but like you mentioned with Claude with that speed, if he starts up front like he did, he started third. I think he started on the grid third tonight. So when he's already up front with the speed that he has lately, he's going to be up there in a hurry.
Taking a quick look at the weather too, seeing if maybe that played a part in that lap 1 wreck. Wind gust up to 11 miles an hour coming out of the southeast. The track only 71 degrees, a very nice temperature of 69 degrees in the air. So the track should be pretty grippy, but that wind might affect these trucks. As if you have raced these trucks in the past, the rear of the truck is pretty light, and with a wind gust that might hit your spoiler just right, it might kick your truck sideways. Not entirely sure if that was the case on lap 1, but after that race or the wreck rather, and then the green flag came out, looks like everyone's been pretty stable. I haven't seen any trucks loose at this point. Saw Chuck maybe a little wiggle there, and as you mentioned, his qualifying laps, he might have hit the wall to discredit his lap time. So, and right now he's currently running 14th. So that truck looks like he has a little bit of work to do before, he shows his true speed.
Yeah, we got 100 laps. We're only 10 complete now once they come across the line here. So plenty of time to make up that ground. I think you're correct on that qualifying run. But I think on that first caution, too, we saw him go 3 wide there early and just, not really getting these tires warmed up, not getting a feel for it in the pack like they did. I think that also added to it with the, the wind that we got going on and the temperature and everything. But still great racing, as you mentioned, and like we said, typical fashion, we kind of see these guys are, they're just ready to get going. And sometimes they have a caution like they did on lap 1. And then after that, we spaced out green flag run, which is going to produce green flag pit stops, which we always love to see those.
On your camera just a minute ago, you saw the number 7 Wayne Grassi. I did mention that his qualifying time did not show his speed, and this would be the case, as he's already up to 12th. Grassi, thank you for that correction again. I'm going to get this one time, I promise. Wayne Grassi already up to 12th place, starting 21st. Actually did not even take a lap time, so he's already up 9 positions and found his way halfway through the field. It looks like he's putting a charge on here to contend for the top 10.
Yeah, between me and Dustin, we'll have you having it right just by the time this race ends. And he's not very far from us, Jeremy. He's sitting here in Florida as well. So, but yeah, he's great run that he's got going on. Some of those guys started out in the back. I mean, moved up. Steve Loomis. Of course, we've had some cautions and everything, but Steve started out 22nd. He's having a great run, sitting in 16th as well. So he's moving up through the field. Chuck Sweeting, as you mentioned, with Wayne, they're coming up through. They kind of started the same spot and just kind of following each other through the field. So great movers, but we still have some great battling up here in the front, though. I mean, we kind of mentioned that top 5 between Richie, Claude, Bobby, Nicholas, and Jonathan. They're all going back and forth, but then you got some other ones sitting right behind them. Nicholas Casey, Brian Bliss, all those guys are just in a tight little pack here, and they just keep going back and forth as we see every lap just jostling for position.
If I see or hear a knock on my door here shortly, I know exactly who's knocking. That might be that number 7. But yeah, let's keep this action on the camera on the top 5. Really, it's pretty impressive stuff. You were just talking about it. They're still side by side. You know, the progressive banking, it makes it a lot more fun for these drivers to pick and choose what lane they want. They're not forced into a lane they're not comfortable with. They can just do what they want. And right now, Claude Furlan's still holding up nicely, battling the number 4. This time, he's on the outside of the number 4. Number 4 is getting some really good drives in the beginning to center of the corner. The exit actually worked for him this time around as he barely clears the number 43, heading off into turn number 3. They all kind of single filed, but Richie Coy, even though the racing's been right behind him, he has not been able to gain any ground. He's still only 2 truck lengths, or actually 1 truck length off that number 4.
Yeah, excuse me there. And as we saw, there's about 4. Everyone's running a different groove. I mean, we saw 4 different grooves right there in that one turn. You have Richie Coy sitting right off that white line there on the bottom, and then everyone else kind of shifted up behind him, and they were just 4 back, and everyone's using a different line. So as you mentioned, that progressive banking that we have here, you can go from the top to the bottom and kind of still keep the same speed. As we see Simon Magden here, he's diving it down there right below Jonathan. We can see him on the inside here. He's trying to make a pass and move into that 4th position.
Yep, making a good, strong move here. Let's see if we can get that completed. Really spaced out there. They're using that apron line, and the guy on the top, that number 27, ran like the 2nd or 3rd groove. So keeping it far away from each other, maybe trying to break the side draft or whatnot, but they've kind of figured it out. Number 27 is in 4th place. Simon Magden resumes in 5th. And they're basically now single file all the way through. Maybe time to chill off the tires a little bit before attacking again, but a couple of these other trucks too back here, the 18, the 00, 32, they've kind of made up a little bit of ground since those guys are racy.
Nicholas Casey, you see back there as well. He was running up there in the top 5, battling for position just about 5 or 6 laps ago, and he's run up in the high side, and he's dropped back a few spots, and it could be one, he's just getting out of all that, or maybe that high side just doesn't have the speed up there. It could be saving tires, as you mentioned. So, see a little damage here on the outside. Maybe he got up into the wall and didn't see the last couple of laps. So that could have played a factor as well. But still, like you mentioned, everyone kind of single file here, no side-by-side action right now. But Bobby Terrell's creeping up on Richie Coy. He's trying to take over that top spot.
Yeah, keep an eye out on the Nicholas Casey and then Simon Magden. He said they're 2nd and 3rd in points. So right now, Simon Magden, 5th place, Nicholas Casey in 8th. That's 3 positions. There's only a 6-point difference. So, I mean, there needs to be a little bit more of a gap between Simon and Nicholas before you can take over 2nd place. But with that damage early on, will it play a factor? Who knows?
And not to mention, you're talking about 2nd, 3rd in the points. That's also the rookie of the season, rookie of the first part of the 2022 A season right here. So between those two, Chuck's also in on it. So it's pretty close between actually the 3 of them. But Chuck right now just hasn't quite made his way up, so he's sitting in 13th. But I expect if once we get some green flag runs or pit stops going, that'll all change. But those two, though, those are the ones to keep an eye on, Jeremy, because they're going to be battling for a couple different standing positions.
For all those that are watching right now on Nerd TV, give a shout out in the chat. Let us know, who do you think is going to take home 2nd place and the Rookie of the Year? Is it going to be Nicholas Casey? Is it going to be Simon Magden? Let us know. Chats are open on all the platforms that we're streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. We love to interact with you, so as soon as you get the message out there, we'll try to shout you out. But yeah, the racing is still going pretty good. I saw a couple laps ago, Bobby Terrell is really digging. He's really strong. Looks like in 3 and 4. Richie just maybe ever so slightly better in 1 and 2. Kind of keeping them just behind him. Or Bobby could be just holding on for the long run, doing the old Richie Coy style. See 86, Nicholas Casey also run to the top of the track. A little bit early for him to do so. Maybe the truck tightened up a little bit with that right side damage. So that could be a little bit of a side effect there as well.
Yeah, it could be something to definitely keep an eye on. And don't forget about Chuck Sweeting. He might have a chance. So in the chats, if you're rooting for Chuck, put that in there as well, because it's only a 13-point difference there between the two. So anything can happen there. But if Richie Coy kind of gets this run like he likes to do and spread out these tires and this fuel mileage, if Bobby Terrell's keeping up pace with them, because we saw both of them capable of doing it. We saw Bobby Terrell do that last week. We saw Richie Coy do that multiple times this season. So with those two really sticking there within 0.2 of each other, this is going to be a good battle thing. Keep it going all race. We've had some kind of pit stops break up this in the past, and hopefully we can keep it going all the way through the end. But got a little battle here as we see on their TV as well for third, fourth, and fifth. Battling it out here, trying to get around between Claude Furlan, Simon Madigan, and Nicholas Casey.
Yeah, as the leaders kind of separate the third, fourth, and fifth, yeah, it's putting on some excellent racing for us right now. Claude's just looks like he's starting to fall off just a little bit. Simon's picked up some speed, but he's having a little bit of a troublesome getting around that 43. As you see, they're trying different lines. One's on the very bottom, one's running almost to the third line. Right behind him, Nicholas Casey's still hugging that top side of the racing surface. They give Simon a great run here. Claude puts a little bit of a block, zooming it down low to the apron. But Simon's going to take another look. Nope, he's going to go back to the top side of the track. 43 sticks to the bottom. Let's see if he's able to make a stick this time. But that 46 is getting just a little bit stronger off the corners. And nope, he's going to lay back this time. He's going to lift and see what he can do in the next corner.
Yeah, as those three are going at it just a little bit further back, you got Brian Bliss with Andrew Kulicki battling it out for 7th place. Right behind them, you got the Stephen Verman in the 00 fighting Wayne Grossi as well for 9th. So we got a few battles out here on the track, Jeremy, side-by-side racing a little further back, and then these three up here for within the top 5.
Yeah, back there actually, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th there. Side-by-side, 4 or 5 trucks deep here. 32 gets a little loose in front of the 18. Good save there. Nice heads-up driving by the 18 to avoid the contact on the bumper. The 32, that's going to bring in Wayne Grossi. He gains 2 spots off that and potentially 3 as he's trying to go for the 32. And the 32 gets loose again. They're 3 wide, almost make contact. Still good. Grossi now takes over all those positions. Just kind of gifted there a few spots.
Yeah, and Chuck Sweeting moved his way up into that little pack too, as well as you see him in the blue truck just a few trucks back there. So he's trying to get around these guys. As Andrew Kulicki was just having a heck of a lap there, trying to hold on to it off of 2 and off of 4. That's going to put him on the outside now, and Brian Bliss on the inside trying to make the pass. Shook up those spots a little bit, and yeah, you mentioned it. Wayne made out the best on that. He's going to come across the line 7th after all that, and set his sights here on Jonathan, which we see a little bit of damage on the 27 of Jonathan Baranakis, and it looks like he might have got into the wall a little bit as well.
Yeah, it looks like he did. I don't know exactly where, but kind of did it off camera, maybe just running up a little too strong on the corner exit. Typically, you'll find yourself doing at this track because you kind of, at least for me, when I run the bottom, I trust that progressive banking a little too much. I expect it to rotate my truck or car, and it never does, and I usually hit the wall for 4 especially, so very well could have been a thing. And like a little bit of a side damage potentially on the 32 as well. No, I think it's just the chrome. The lighting on it was making it look like there was some damage, but outside of that though, actually there's a little bit of damage. I was taking a look here on my new camera I just switched over to 32. A little bit of side damage. Doesn't look like it's affecting him though, but Stephen Verman trying to get around him once again, and Chuck Sweeting is right there trying to take advantage of that as well. Yeah,
great 6 truck battle that we got going on back here within this top 10 and just outside of it. And as that's going on, we're still having the 3 truck battle, within the top 5. Simon Madigan and Nicholas Casey and Claude Furlan. Those 3 are still going at it as we see here on their TV. So this progressive banking, as we've mentioned a couple of times, is just making great racing and great battles all around. And Claude's trying to make that pass there on Simon Madigan as they're heading down the backstretch, but he's just going to fall right back in line. But he's still taking a peek on the inside, seeing if he can just ever so slightly get by Simon. And we saw he just cut him close off the corner there a couple of times, and Simon got right on the back bumper, but he's trying to fight back on the inside as they're heading across the line.
Yeah, right now they're dead heat side by side. 43 had a really strong 3 and 4 that time around. Let's see if he can kind of reproduce that in 1 and 2. Gets a little bit of advantage on that 46. Maybe the 46 tires are a little too overheated. Maybe he needs to cool them off, and it's allowing that 43, who's not really coming off the exit of the corner strong. He's hugging that bottom half of the racing surface and still able to keep side by side. That tells me the 46 is maybe running into a little bit of a tight situation, allowing that 43 of Fernland to make this pass almost. They're basically dead even at the line this time around on lap number 32.
And that's bringing the 27 and the 7 here a little bit closer to this group. That 6 truck pack that we have a little further back is going to be a little bit too far right now, but that's bringing these guys a little bit closer as we see Wayne's going on the inside here, the 27 of Varanakis. So that's going to bring Wayne up, and he's trying to punch his ticket into the top 5 as he's going to be catching these guys very shortly. He's got a truck right now that's holding very well, holding a very good line as we've been watching for the last couple of laps, keeping that wheel nice and steady. So, as you mentioned before they even dropped with the green flag, he's one to keep an eye on, Jeremy, and he's already proven it.
Yeah, Grossi's definitely moving forward for sure. 43 is not giving up, Mr. Furlan there. He definitely wants to keep that top 3 podium spot, but right now Simon Magden does clear him for the time being as they go back to single file, and now maybe Nicholas Casey maybe hits turn to try to move in there, but yeah, still keep an eye on that number 7 though. I don't think he's done just yet.
No, I don't think so at all, and we're 33 laps completed so far, and these guys kind of single filed out even in that pack in the back. So I'm not seeing any side-by-side racing right now. We got a little pass here. Looks like Brian Bliss got around Chuck Sweeting, or Chuck Sweeting's run the outside. But looking back through the field, they're pretty much single file right now, Jeremy.
Yeah, right now, and at this point in the race, this is a great time to give a shout-out to Nerd Focus. Want to keep your focus on the racing surface, especially when it's kind of in the middle of a low point of a race. Definitely don't lose your focus, and don't miss your marks. And there's no better product to do that than with Nerd Focus. Head over to nerdfocus.com. Super Nerd at checkout. 10% off of whatever flavor you choose. Yeah, still running side by side here, or at least back there, and it looks like 6th place. Grossi is making his move on that number 27 of Jonathan Varanauskis. Dead heat for them, exiting turn number 4, and pit stop, you said, coming this time?
Yeah, it's 00 Stephen Verman, and it looks like right behind we're going to have another one coming down as well. I'll have to see who that one is. That the 50? Is that 50 of Martin?
32, Andrew Palicki, the 00 and the 32. Both green flag stops here on lap number 35 of scheduled 100. So this tells me it's going to be a 2-stop race if the thing goes green all the way through. As they're making their pit stops. And
86 Nicholas Casey.
86 Nicholas Casey as well. You see a few other trucks on pit road, and got number 4 Bobby Terrell as well coming in. Looks like maybe one more also. That's Nicholas Casey I saw. And then the number 10, you can't see his number. It's a black number on a black scheme, but that's Luke Brown there in that Mercedes wannabe Chevrolet. He's also coming down. So a lot of people taking on lap number 35.
Luke Brown, he kind of sounds like a country singer. That's, the black on black, can't see it, but I like the look. Reminds me of those old die casts. You see Quads coming down pit road as well. That's going to bring him down, which is that spot. Still, Richie Coy still leading the way. Simon Magden sitting in 2nd place. It'll be interesting to kind of see where these pit strategies play out, Jeremy, because, we mentioned Richie was going to short pit last week because he got short pitted on. So we'll kind of see how this plays out between him and Bobby, because Bobby came in a couple laps sooner than Richie is, and we know Richie, he likes to keep it out there. As I mentioned that, Richie coming down pit road, as you saw there on Nerd TV.
You mentioned those die-cast. I love that series, the Black Ice, I think is what it was called. I have one of those as well from Carl Edwards. I love that collection. And it definitely reminds me of it too a little bit, minus the blue there, because it was just an all black and white card, but it's just one shade of color away from being. But 19, the leader, Richie Coy. Classic Richie to pit just a lap or 2 later than everybody else. He's especially in this later half of the season, he's been the long run king, and he seems to take it best whenever he pits last, and then he has that little bit extra advantage, as the laps continue. So he's going to lose the lead virtue probably of coming in a lap or 2 later, but don't count him out. He will be back there, and he's going to even do better because he's on the fresher tires than everybody else.
Oh, absolutely. Simon Magden, he makes his way off onto pit road after getting the lead up to Wayne Grossi, who actually he's just announced he's going down pit road. So we see him coming down. 88's coming down. Mark DeBrule. So everyone's definitely cycling through a little bit there as he's getting down onto pit road. Came down really early there, Jeremy, as Chuck Sweeting's going to go ahead and jump Wayne there on that pit entrance. So I don't know if he's trying to play it safe or misjudged it, but Chuck just definitely gained a lot of time and ground there.
He really did, and I don't know who's all practiced their pit entrances, but that can make or break a race for someone that's running in the top 5 or so. He did gain about probably 2 seconds of racing time over the number 7, just coming in really hot there alongside with Mark DeBrille in that 88. So strong runs there and quick pit entrances to get the job done there. You see Brian Bliss coming down with the 14 as well of Lane Allen. That's your current leaders as they cycle through this thing. It's going to bring Kenneth Scholes to the lead, Steve Loomis, and then everybody else should have cycled through, I do believe, for the most part afterwards. But right now, Kenneth Scholes waiting for him to come down.
I believe so. I believe Kenneth Schultz and Steve Loomis are the last few to be take a pit stop. I believe we'll have to take a look and see, but I think that's how we're going to be looking at it. So once those two come down, and we'll see where everyone cycles through and see, how Bobby Terrell came out as far as coming down pit road a little bit earlier than Richie Coy. Right now, I'm showing those two pretty close to each other out on the track. So I think they were about a 2-second differential last time. So the strategy that they had, whether they're coming in early or late, you see them, they're on the backstretch. They're not too far apart from each other. So, but Bobby, he was able to capitalize on it as we see him right now. But as you mentioned, Richie Coy's going to have a little bit fresher tires, so he's going to gain that ground back pretty quick.
It was only 2 laps, but he will definitely showcase why he does what he does, and it works for him every time. I expect nothing different from Kansas here. What a great race overall, too. Kansas usually provides pretty okay racing, but over here at FTSR in the trucks here, they're providing some excellent racing all around the racetrack this evening. So it's awesome for us to call and for everyone else out there watching. We got Terry Radford in the chats with 2 hearts. What's up, Terry? How's it going out there? It's been a while since we heard from you out there. Hopefully you're enjoying the action tonight from Kansas, from Full Throttle Sim Racing, but currently on lap number 43 of scheduled 100. And Kenneth Scholes still sticking it out. You see the number 7, Wayne Grossi, just blow his doors off there. You can definitely see that time difference between new tires and old tires. So, he's 5 laps away, Kenny, from doing a one-stop strategy. So if he can make it through for 5 more laps and get it down, this might be a game changer. And
we saw how the last couple of races have played out that way when they've made it on the one-stop shop and went around. And, I think it's either worked out for one where they end up winning the race and the other one got top 3. So either way, it could be a good strategy that could pay off in the long run. So we'll keep an eye on that. As long as this thing goes green, which here at Full Throttle Sim Racing, as you mentioned, is one of the cleanest and best racing that you'll see around. So I won't expect anything less from that. As we see Kenneth making his another lap around, we're on lap 46. So just a couple more to get around, and he'll be halfway. We'll be at the halfway mark.
Casey McMullen also in the chat, acknowledging that Terry's also in the chat, saying Terry. Terry's got a little bit of a fan base here in our chat system, but feel free to join in. Everyone say hi to Terry too. Don't be shy. But he's got 5 laps left before officially lap 50 is hit. And actually, I lied to you at 47. So he's got 4 laps left before that thing will be halfway through. We'll see. I mean, as you said, the strategy like this has been playing out more so in this season a little bit in the back half of things. And it's worked for some people. For cautions on others, it's not been a friend. So we'll see what happens here. 17 looks like he's going to finally come down pit road. So that's going to leave just 1 driver left before everything cycles through.
No, the only problem with that, too, is I was watching, you had Richie Coy and Bobby Terrell. They were sitting 21 seconds back, and then now they're only about 16 and 17 seconds back. So he's losing quite a bit of time. So, hopefully in the long run when it pays off, it'll pay off for him. As we see right here, going to have Lane Allen. He's going to come back around, get one of his lap back the old-fashioned way. I think Kenneth Schultz is going to be making his way down pit road. Looked like he was. I think he's slowing down. So he's going to be making his way down. Losing a lot of time, though, here, Jeremy. He's coming down pit road. Looks like he's playing a little extra cautious, but that's going to hurt his pit stall entry time here.
I wasn't sure what he was doing there because he hit the apron 3 times. I was actually almost cringing. I was hoping he wasn't going to spin it out or anything, but he was able to make it down safely. We'll see what kind of time loss that is, but it's his only stop of the race, coming up to lap 50 as he crosses the line. So as long as he hits his marks good, we'll see what that advantage looks like. Surprised we didn't see more people try to do that because we just see probably 3 or 4 trucks minimum do that. So let's see what Richie Coy has for him. It's going to put a little bit of pressure on him to make sure he hits his marks correctly. And speaking of which, you see him right behind Bobby Terrell, just on the tail end there, exiting turn number 2. And they're not even halfway, or close to being halfway, rather, on their tire run here. And Richie's already caught him, so that just really shows his long run speed.
And as we see right here, you're going to see Kenneth Schultz right now as we're going around him. So didn't lose too much time. Well, no, actually, he's dropping a little bit. So, yeah, we'll see how that strategy is going to end up paying off for him. But as we see Bobby Terrell and Richie Coy, they're still heading off in the 3 and 4. And those two leading the way. They came in 3 to 3.5 seconds, Jeremy, ahead of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, that little group there. And now they're sitting 7.5 seconds ahead. So these two are just on a tear.
That battle 6th through 10th, they're only just a few tenths off each other. So pretty great racing here mid-pack. Jonathan Varanaska is kind of leading the way on that. Wayne Grassi is the leader of that pack. The board's just changed on me there. So he's currently running in 6th place in that number 7 Pennzoil Chevrolet. And we're also seeing Chuck Sweeting, who had a little bit of a blinking issue, at least on my end. He finally came back, so he's running there in 7th. Varanaska in 8th, Andrew Palicki in 9th, and to round out the top 10 is Claude Ferlin, who kind of finishes off that little 5-truck pack here. But even though they're nose to tail rather, they're on a little bit different pit strategies, so we might see that 43 kind of make some ground. But he's actually one of the, I don't want to say losers, but he definitely lost some ground for sure. He was running up there, for 3rd or 4th, and right now he's sitting in 10th. So a little bit of a slow pit stop for that 43.
I was just thinking the same thing, that he came in, running in that battle for the top 5 there. And now he's trying to keep alive for the top 10. And another thing to mention, too, is Kenny Schultz. We saw him coming off a pit road there as the 2 leaders were going around him, and that was putting him a lap down. So that strategy to kind of extend it right now is not the best, but we're going to see what happens, where it plays out. If this thing keeps going green, he came on a lap 49, so he's right there. So it just depends on how much he came in. And as you see, we're coming across that complete lap 53, Jeremy. We're 3 laps over halfway. We're almost there to finish off the season finale here.
And we're going to give one more visual thank you for the Truck Series with our side-by-side. So stick around, and we're going to take a few short minutes to regroup and give some thanks to people who allow us to do this every Monday and Wednesday. So stay tuned.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and eNASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation, Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
Welcome back to full screen action for the Full Throttle Sim Racing Points Truck Series. We are on lap number 61 of scheduled 100. That means 40 laps left to get this thing all squared away. Coming back, we see Bobby Throttle and Richie Coy still duking it out. You know, about 2 truck lengths separate them two. And they're going to go 10 seconds back before you find 3rd and 4th place Simon Magden and Wayne Grossi. As Grossi's actually found himself in 4th place, just getting around that 86 and past 91 right there. Grossi has made a hell of a gain here. 21st to 4th. Definitely the strongest mover. Can't count out Chuck Sweeting, though, as well. Started 20th with no practice, no qualifying, and has found himself just outside the top 5 and 6th place, Kenny.
I was just about to mention Chuck Sweeting. I was watching him as we came back live there, and he was sitting back in 8th place and kind of just moved his way up through the field, Jeremy, and he's going to be fighting Simon and Wayne here for that top 3 here very shortly. He's made a move past Jonathan and Steven, and now he's looking to go on the inside of Nicholas Casey. So strong truck tonight, both him and Wayne, like you mentioned, starting in 20th and 21st and now running 4th and 5th. So great runs. We see Steven get a little sideways coming down the turn, but he's going to get a great run off as these guys are coming off off a 2.
Richie Coy does get that pass completed, and we're going to see how much further he can kind of set sail before he makes a second green flag stop of this evening, as we're now at lap 64 of 100. Simon Magden, I mean, him and Grossi are kind of holding their own at 9 seconds back, so right now it's just a 2-car race minus Kenneth Scholes. We don't know how his one-stop strategy is going to pay out, so him right now, Mr. Scholes is 1 lap down, but you know, when these trucks pit, it takes a whole lap to get their truck serviced. So it might be pretty close. We'll have to find out. Not used to seeing only one truck do this, so you know, it's a kind of a situational strategy, and I'm pulling for him. Every time I make a pit strategy like this, it rarely works for me. I usually get frustrated afterwards, but then I try it again because I feel like it's going to work, and it still never does. But these guys do it better than I do. This is why I'm up on the booth, and these guys are on the track.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I try to do the opposite, save it for the long run, so I do that, but I just don't have the speed to keep it up, so I'm still in a lose-lose with it. But yeah, see what they can do. These guys, Richie and Bobby, they've done it a couple times this season. So as we see, looks like Simon Magden's coming down pit road, Jeremy. I was on board with him, seeing how he was handling. Oh, he gets a little coming in hot there. Got a little sideways. He came up pit road. We're going to have 2 here. Looks like I think that's going to be Jonathan Varanakis there. Yeah, he's coming down pit road. We have one more of Andrew Palicki coming down pit road. So here's the second round of pit stops for these guys, the final one as well.
Simon Magden coming in like a hot Krispy Kreme donut. Almost loses it. Able to regroup, but he's just showing all the kind of effort that he's putting on the pit road to try to maximize his time. But yeah, looks like round 2 of everybody else making their green flag pit stops. This will solidify the last green flag pit stop anyways for these drivers, unless of course there's a pending caution out there. But as they're really spaced out, probably not the case. Yeah, Andrew Plicky got his right sides, now left sides being changed. So we're starting to slowly see these drivers make their moves.
Yeah, and we saw Richie Coy get around Bobby Tyrrell just about 4 or 5 laps ago. So this kind of puts them in that same distance situation that they were in last round of pit stops, where Bobby Tyrrell was sitting about half a second back of Richie Coy, and he came down pit road and then was able to get ahead of him. So we're going to see when he comes down this time, and to see if he comes down just a couple laps sooner than Richie does, and maybe he can get that lead out and try to hold on for a little long. We know Richie's strong. I mean, he came back from 2 seconds back of Bobby there after the pit stops ended, and now he's sitting over half a second now. So Bobby Tyrrell and Richie, those are going to be the 2 going at it if this thing keeps going green like it's going.
Looks like the 32 of Plicky just kind of held up the 19 a little bit there, and 3 and 4 kind of took away his line. And allowed Mr. Bobby Throttle to come in about 0.2 of a second closer that lap alone. But yeah, the pit stops are looming. These guys are thinking about it. I know they are. They're right in that window to cut the race into their third to make the final third of the race happen. And so just a matter of time before they start coming down. Wayne Grossi currently still sitting in third. Just him and Chuck Sweeting, they're again still holding their ground at just over 9 seconds back of these guys. So they're just kind of hoping there's a mistake or a caution from the two guys up front to bring them back in, because I strongly believe if there's a caution and it groups everyone back up, that's 7 and 75. I think they have something for the 19 and 4.
And I'm wondering if something happened with Chuck there, Jeremy, because as we hear Wayne's coming down pit road this time, but I would wonder if something happened because we saw on their TV Chuck make that kind of pass on him there getting in the pit road and was able to gain, like you mentioned, 2 seconds. But then once they came out and we were watching them there, when we came back from the break, Chuck was sitting a little bit further back than Wayne was. So I'm wondering if something happened there, but they didn't pit together this time. You see Stephen Verman coming down as well with Wayne Grossi. So those two are going to be making their pit stops, the second and final pit stops for them.
Grossi just got that truck. That thing's just fast. I think he just blew the doors off with Chuck Sweeting, essentially, which is hard to do against Chuck. So shows the speed in that number 7. But he's getting that truck service, the 00 of Vrooman as well, coming down pit road and getting his truck service for the final time this evening. See a few more trucks starting to do so. The leaders are still hanging out right now.
Now we got the 4, Bobby Trail, pit road.
Actually, yep. As I was kicking it over, I did see he has entered pit road and heading toward his crew. 3, 2, 1. Pretty conservative stop there. Make sure he doesn't overdrive anything. So the 19, Richie Coy, just went over to him. He's now coming down pit road. Excellent entrance. Let's see if he can capitalize on anything to kind of propel him to that lead. Bobby Trail's a tough one to battle here.
I think he saw the ground that Bobby Trail made up on the last set too. After, even though it was just 2 laps, but he was able to gain quite a few seconds there on Richie, and I don't think Richie wanted to have that. So as soon as he saw Bobby come down, he decided to come down the second lap around, try to shorten up that gap there as they, off the pit road. So we'll see what they cycle through. But we still got guys coming down here, Jeremy. Got a few more coming down, more coming down pit road as we speak, as we see on our TV.
That's that number 10, the ghost number 10, Luke Brown, making his pit stop in that Petronas Chevrolet Silverado. Hits his mark beautifully as well. Nicholas Casey's still out there leading the thing. I think he's pitting this lap. I think he waved the number 4 by as he is directly behind him, and there he goes. Stays high for that number 4. Clear Sam. Let's see when the 86 makes his pit stop. He's looking for that Rookie of the Year contender over Simon Magden. So right now that battle is pretty close, I would say. All right, there we go. 86 making this way down to pit road.
Yep, he's coming down pit road. As we see right in front of them, though, Richie Coy coming right up behind those guys off of pit road, right behind Bobby Terrell. So Bobby Terrell was able to gain some ground off of that pit stop. He's not too far ahead of Richie, but he's about a second and a half, I think, after they cycle through. Now he did come down 1 lap sooner, but that's what Bobby needed. We'll see if Bobby can hold him off. We got 25 laps to go once they complete this lap by. We're going to have some trucks to get through as well with this rounds of pit stops going. So this is the time Bobby needs to check out, but also not, burn up the tires.
26 laps to go. Just under a second separates Bobby from Richie. We see on the back camera here of Bobby Terrell looking back at that white and orange Ford F-150. He's kind of sitting there at a further away distance, but that truck's going to be there. So there's only a 1 lap difference on these set of tires. Let's see if Richie can get up there and make that pass. But right now, 9/10 separates those two. 3 drivers yet to pit, or 2 drivers rather. Nope, it cycled through. I apologize. 1 driver, Mr. Claude Furlan's the only one out here leading. Bobby Trail cycled through to 2nd. Richie Coy 3rd. Simon Magden sitting there in 4th. So right now he's making a strong bid there for that rookie contention.
And Kenneth Schultz, I was looking to see kind of where he cycled through on everything. And don't forget, he hasn't made his 2nd pit stop yet, so he's out there running. Unfortunately, he's sitting in 5th, so the strategy might not get him the win, but it still get him possibly, with inside that top 10.
Yeah, looking at the points right now, like I said, 6 points separate Casey from Magden. Magden right now is 7 positions ahead of Casey. So if it's a 1-point system, he is up by 1 point for that third place. Or second place rather. So let's see if that holds true, or if Casey can get around a few other drivers. Right now he's putting on a good charge here. He's got 5 seconds though to get to Jonathan Varanauskas. And actually they moved him up to 10th after pit stop. So actually they're going to be only separated by 6. So right now they're on a deadlock tie. But when Claude comes down, I think that's going to cycle him, or it's going to cycle everyone really. So he's got 5 seconds to gain to Varanauskas if he wants to solidify second place in the points.
Yeah, and then it's going to come down. I'm not sure what the tiebreaker, if it defaults to wins, and I have to look and see. But if so, that's going to put Nicholas Casey in that spot because he does have 2 wins on the season. So we'll see kind of how it cycles through if they finish the way they are with those 6-point difference. 5 seconds is, that's quite a gap to make up, but it is possible, especially as these laps wear down. As you see here on their TV, got 22 laps to go. This Kansas, the season finale of the 22A season.
Yeah, these stats are consistently changing. I think everyone's kind of cycled through now, so it should seem pretty stable. But yeah, 6 points separate, 6 positions separate them on the track.
It's got a pass for the lead here.
Deadlock, and let's not forget about the lead here. Bobby Trail under pressure as that 19 Richie Coy made a stab at the bottom of turn number 1. Unable to complete that as Bobby kind of squeezed the inside lane there. Cause Rich to check up, and that's going to make him regroup and see if maybe he can make another stab at this, because we have just 20 laps to go.
Yeah, just looking around the track, we only got about 2 battles. This one you see here on their TV, and one for 12th place. So I think we're going to stick it here with you for these 2 leaders. You got basically the points champion right there, Bobby Trail, leading the way, trying to win the championship officially and win the race at the same night. So that'll be definitely a feat that he wants to do, but it's going to be hard. He's holding off Richie Coy, 20 laps to go, and Richie's strong, so he's going to do everything he can. But Bobby Trail, he's also a strong driver as he won the championship. So
yeah, he did the burnout last week, solidifying the championship and the race. And what better way to close out the season than to have 3 trophies in 2 weeks? So definitely on his mind. He wants to do it. He did mention it in his post-race interview last week. He that's his goal, still just to run the race and collect one more trophy. But when you have someone like Richie Coy in your bumper, it just makes your job a lot harder. But we've all come to know that Ford has that skill set and that mindset to get it done. So this should be a really good battle, Kenny. Coming here with I think 17 or 18 laps to go at this point. Should be a really awesome battle for us to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch these last 18 laps, and yeah, he's just trophy chasing tonight. So he got the main one, now he's just trying to get the one to go beside it. But Richie wants another one. We mentioned he's got Bobby's got 3 wins on the season. Richie's just got the 1. So Richie's trying to get up there and get himself another win before the season ends with this last race. But Bobby's holding strong, Jeremy. I'm not sure if Richie's kind of seeing if he can make a move or if he's just kind of playing it easy. But as we see, he's going to look on the inside, actually, as we're speaking about going into turn 1, see if he can hold it. Bobby's got that, the momentum here on the high side, but Richie Coy's keeping it tight. They're going to be coming off of 2, almost side by side.
Bobby Terrell not giving him much of an option here, kind of squeezed him entering turn number 1 once again, but gave him just enough room for the 19 to feel comfortable to stick it there in the corner. And they're running still side by side. You see some awesome free camera work here from Mr. Dustin in the production area, locking onto that number 4 driver door panel. As they're now dead heat entering turn number 1, almost coming door to door there as they enter the corner. Bobby not giving much room to the 19, trying to get a good launch off the corner, and going to use a little bit of a side draft, and they're going to be deadlocked once again entering turn number 3 with just outside 15 to go. Awesome racing by these two.
When they got close, all I could think about was Brody talking about the incident we had last week there. And I was thinking if these guys get a little bit closer, we're going to have a little bit of a little connection there. I'm trying to think of the word you're going to have to help me fill it in because I'm losing thought of what word I'm trying to come up with. But I thought they were going to come close enough where they're going to touch there. And that's all I could think about was Brody last week when he was talking about it.
We're going to talk about the infamous netcode, I
Thank
think,
you.
is what you're getting at. Yes. Netcode is, it's almost like a forsaken term in the iRacing world. It's probably costed thousands of drivers over the course of iRacing's 13 or 14 years of service. Just when you get close enough, it's nothing wrong with the hitbox. There's nothing wrong with the driver talent. It's just literally internet connection. And if you have they get really close that time. But November 4th is just hanging on strong on this outside here with just under or over 13 laps to go. But yeah, that net code is, you never know when it's going to strike. You can literally touch doors and not see it. And then you go on the next corner and there's like a 6-inch gap between you. And all of a sudden it turns the next guy. So it's one of those unstable, unknown situations of when it's going to show up. But, when you're racing for a trophy, you kind of just don't have to think about it. You just kind of focus on what you do know and try to get the job done, and that's what they're doing. But right now, the 19 barely clears the number 4 off turn number 2. And so Bobby's got to try to figure out the strategy here to maybe get back around him.
I was expecting Bobby to go low there, but Richie's not giving it up because that looks like that's where, if you're going to be making a pass, you're going to have to go on that low side. But Richie, he's going to be holding that bottom. We've seen he's been on the bottom side this whole entire race, really. As even coming across the line there, he's going to drop down to the apron and pick up that speed. But to make a pass here on Richie, you're going to have to do it on the high side. And I just don't think that Bobby, even though the fastest truck as fast as his truck is, I don't think it's strong enough to make it on the outside. So he's going to have to do it on the inside if he can. But Richie's just going to be holding that line, I think, these last 12 laps.
Yeah, even with Bobby on the high side, could not keep that 19 from passing him. So from the whole entire time I've watched the number 4, his preferred lane is the bottom. So he's going to have to make that move, but he shifted down low, and the 19 is still making gain on him. So it's just one of those deals that maybe you can cool off the tires for a couple laps and take one more shot at it. You see a good battle here on Nerd TV as well for third place. Chuck Sweeting and Wayne Grossi going at it here, side by side, entering turn number 1 at 11 laps to go. And Chuck looks like he completes the pass, no problem this time around. So new guy in the podium position.
No practice, no qualifying, no problem. Going to see if I can get this podium third place. We've seen him all night. He's been having a fast truck. He started in 20th position, as we mentioned. Him and Wayne both, 20th and 21st, and now they're running 3rd and 4th. They finally flip-flopped. So great run between these two, no matter how it finishes out with 10 laps to go. But it's looking like Chuck might be getting him another podium 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, he's got 10 laps to make that happen. Wayne's not going to give it up just yet, trying to make a run for it. But Chuck's just so strong on that top side, and he's one of those guys that has a better long-run truck, too. So that Gator Racing Silverado is definitely showing some power. I mean, he's 10 seconds back of 1 and 2, but they're on their own zip code this season. But Chuck doing an awesome job here. I'm almost hesitant if I do ask him about his setup and how he's worked on it in the post-race if he does complete third place. What are the chances that he says he only worked on it for like 15 minutes?
Hey, there's a possibility. I mean, he jumped in, I think, later part of that session. So great run for him overall, and great run for these top 3, really. I mean, Richie Coy and Bobby Terrell, they're going to gain 1 spot better than they did last year. Last year, these guys finished 2nd and 3rd together. So just going to move up to 1 and 2. Just decides on how it's going to end. Right now, Richie's still holding that bottom line, so he's showing that he's got the power, and Bobby's tires could be just wearing off just a little bit more here than Richie's, as they're going to be coming around about 7 laps to go here. So Richie Coy's still holding strong.
Yeah, the king of the long run, is I'm going to start dubbing him. No one can touch him outside of 20 laps of green flag runs. Like, that is your man. Like, you don't go with anybody else. You just count on the 19 to get the job done. Speaking of which, another way to get the job done is by strapping on a pair of Martin Sports gloves. Head over to martinsports906.com. Check out all their racing gloves. They have a couple styles. They have the gauntlet that goes over your wrist area. They have another shorter version. And the prices are good for how great the quality of product it is. Keep your hands dry. No sweat whatsoever when you're wearing these things for a 2-hour event. Whatever you're doing, it is the glove of choice for all the sim racers out there. So once again, martinsports906.com. Super nerd at checkout for a ridiculous 25% off. As Richie Coy got just 5 laps to go. Trying to close out the season on the best note possible, taking on the second win of the season. Bobby, I think you said it best, Ken. He's just wore his tires out just a little too much. Though Richie has 1 lap fresher tires, so just natural of that alone, Richie's going to have the better set of tires. And Bobby's actually looking a bit loose there. He tagged the apron in turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, and as you see right there, coming off for turn 2, got a little loose coming off the corner. And looking at the rookie standings, Jeremy, I mean, we're going to have Chuck is going to be kind of leading the way in the rookies racing tonight, but Nicholas Casey moved his way up in the 7th, only 2 spots behind Simon, and then Chuck is only 4 ahead of him. So if we kind of finish the way we're going, Nicholas Casey should walk up second in the points and that overall Rookie of the Year standings. So keep an eye on that one as well, as we're coming shortly around to 3 laps to go here. So once he gets around this, after this backstretch gets around half a lap, it'll be 3 to go in the season finale.
Yeah, Casey, he put a little bit later than everybody else, and he's kind of surprised me with how much ground he has made up to 7th place. You're right, just 2 spots away from Simon. So if they finish in this running order, Nicholas Casey will take home the Rookie of the Year spot there in 2nd place in the points outside of that number 4, Bobby Terrell. So excellent job by Casey coming back to 7th place. He did come back on the track in 11th, so he has gained 4 spots since then. Even with that damage, he's still putting on a hell of a show.
Yeah, as we see Richie going around the lap car, 32 there of Andrew Palicki went ahead and let Richie Coy go by. No problems. Don't want to have any incidents here, especially with coming the 2 laps to go. Bobby Terrell not going to be able to pull this one off, Jeremy. He's going to, looks like coming home in a 2nd place position, but hell of a run, hell of a season. Is going to take home the championship. And got a little bit close there as he slides up and that coming off at 2. Bobby Terrell can't wait to finish this one, as his truck is just not happy right now, but still a great run in 2nd and taking home that championship if we can get around one more time.
One more time around this 1.5 mile Tri-Oval Speedway of Kansas, where Dorothy resides. Like you said in the pre-race, there's no storms, no tornadoes, so it's all clear. Unless you're the 19, putting on a storm of a show here, just kind of blazing through everybody. Just doing his thing, nice, easy off of turn number 2. We got 2 more corners before he takes home the checker flag. Kansas 150, going to close out the season. And what a way to end it for that number 19 Fury Motorsports F-150 as he takes home the checker flag. Congratulations, Richie Coy, on the race win for the season finale.
And we're having a battle here for 3rd. Wayne Grossi and Chuck Sweeting, Jeremy. They're battling out for that podium. Wayne was able to get around, and we're going to see Chuck trying to make it on the outside. Not going to have it. Wayne's going to come by with a 3rd place finish. So great battle there, the round of that podium there for Wayne. So don't forget to get the Grossi in there this time.
You almost made my mistake. You corrected. So, dubs to you on that. But, yeah, excellent job by Wayne to keep those tires fresh enough and just take, the last 5 or so laps and just make a quick run at it. So, congratulations to Wayne for getting back into the podium. I thought Chuck had him, and then Wayne just kind of different plans for us, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was 2 laps to go as they were coming around. He went ahead and made the pass, and coming to that final lap, was able to hold on to it. So, great run there by Wayne and take home that podium finish and top 3, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the top drivers, let's go over the running order or the finishing order rather for tonight's event for the Kansas 150 to end out season number 1 of 2022 in the Sim Racing Points Truck Series. Richie Coy takes home the trophy. Bobby Terrell, 2nd place, series champion. 3rd place, Wayne Grossi. 4th place, Chuck Sweeting. 5th place, Simon Magden. 6th place, Stephen Vrooman. 7th place, Nicholas Casey, so he does take home 2nd in points. 8th place is going to be Mark DeBriel. 9th place, Jonathan Varanowskis. And around out the top 10, Brian Bliss.
Coming home on 11th is going to be Lane Allen. And then next ones down are going to be first lap down truck of Andrew Palicki in 12th. 13th is going to be Luke Brown. 14th is Claude Furlan. 15th, Steve Loomis. 16th is Kenneth Schultz. 17th is Alex Murphy. 18th is Martin Garreau. 19th, Brody Hanna. 20th, Tommy Brandon. 21st, Tony Solari. And rounding out the field in 22nd, Zach McDaniel.
And this is going to take us to the Martin Sports post-race show for the last time on Season A of 2022. We're going to see if we can get a word with these top three drivers here. First and foremost, Wayne Grossi and that Chevrolet Pennzoil truck. Let's see if we can get a word with him. Mr. Grossi, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
It took me 2 tries in the pre-show to get your name correct, but then I landed it. So I'm glad I'm doing this thing for you. But congratulations there on the podium finish. You and Chuck had a last little 10-lap sprint to see who's going to take home the podium spot. You kind of gave it to him about 10, 15 laps left, and then you just I think you saved your tires and took it back away from him. What was that strategy, and how were you able to get the job done to get into the podium?
Yeah, I knew he had pitted like 2 laps later than me, so I thought he had me really. But my car was great low and never really got loose. I noticed he was getting just a little bit loose once in a while, but I don't know if that's what happened at the end there, but I got lucky there, I think.
Yeah, it was. I mean, no, I wouldn't say it was lucky. It was good race. I mean, you started back in 21st, I believe, 20th or 21st, and made your way all the way up to that podium at the top 3. So great run. Overall, we were watching you come up through the field, and the last second I saw you there charging up through and made that pass with 1 to go. So overall, I mean, that was a great run if you ask me.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that.
Well, man, yeah, congratulations on the podium there. We're going to take a 1-week break from these trucks, and we're going to come back at them in 2 weeks at Charlotte. So heading off into the second season of the year, what's the mindset and what are your expectations?
Well, I'm going to have to miss a couple weeks coming up. I'm going to be taking a vacation, so that's going to put a damper on my season. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to Charlotte. It's one of my best tracks. I love that place.
And we'll see if we can talk to you 3 races in a row in the podium. So go out there and get a job done. But go and take the rest of the night off, man. Go and celebrate for that podium finish to round out the season.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. And that was Wayne Grossi, the runner of that Chevrolet Pennzoil Silverado. And it looks like we might have your championship winner ready to go for his interview. Let's see if we can pull him in here for a quick chat.
Good run,
Mr.
Richie.
Bobby Terrell, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, congratulations on the second place finish. I know you're looking for that trophy one last time to close out the season. You already got the championship. You had last week's trophy. 1 spot shy this time. What was the difference between you and Richie?
I don't know. I mean, I think Richie. I mean, Richie's an excellent driver, and I mean, he's really good. And then he had a really good setup. So we were close. It's just that when I was behind him, I was tight, and then when I was out front, I was a little bit loose. And then that last stop, I thought I was going to make it better and come out in front of him, but I went the wrong way, so it just started tightening up on me again.
Yeah, we could see the ground that you were gaining there on the pit stops coming in a little early, and I think he noticed when he came in 2 laps later than you on that first stop that he shouldn't make that mistake, so he came in and shortened that gap. But you definitely jumped out there and had a great run, but we didn't see the championship burnout.
Oh, I forgot all about that. I did it last week.
Got it
Yeah.
covered. It was a great season. I mean, congrats on the championship. Consistent, the whole season. You nailed it and had followed up with a great season that you had last year. So I just wanted to, congratulate you on the championship there.
Well, thanks very much, guys. Yep, I've been trying to get it for a while, and I finally got it. So that means a lot to me. Means a lot.
Yeah, your burnouts were definitely worth 2 trophies, I would say, last week there at Darlington. But also for you, I want to know what's the expectations for 2022 season B, and what kind of work you getting behind the scenes done to kind of do a back-to-back season champion.
I don't think that's going to happen. I plan on racing, but I think I'll probably end up missing a race or 2. So I don't think I can repeat, but maybe in the fall.
we'll keep an eye on that and make sure to see if you can get that job done. But yeah, sometimes real life gets in the way, and so it's completely understandable if you have to miss a race here or there. It is just a fun thing that we do at the end of the day. So either way, we enjoy watching on the track, man. So before we let you go, do you have anybody out there that's watching on their TV you'd love to give a shout out to?
Just what the job you guys do in the booth, of course, and then the league, overall the league and all the drivers, and shout out to Richie for winning the race. And then I'd like to dedicate all my wins this year and my championship to my late mother. She passed away last July, and I've been trying to get this for a while, so this goes out to her.
An awesome gift to give out for sure. And yeah, man, that was just an excellent performance all season long. So once again, from myself as well, congratulations, and go on and celebrate with the team for that second place finish this evening.
Thanks a lot, guys.
You got it. And that was your runner-up tonight, Mr. Bobby Terrell, that number 4. Now it's time to talk to your race winner for his second win of the season to close out 2022 Season A. Mr. Richie Coy, you got a copy?
What's up, nerds?
What's up?
What's up? King of the long run is what I'm going to start calling you there. You're on another zip code when it comes to over 20 laps of a green flag run. There's nobody else I'm going to count on really, other than you, really. So, and you definitely showed it. You pit a little bit later than everybody else, and then you just kind of strike and take advantage of it. Does that seem to be like your overall strategy heading into these kind of events where you know there's going to be a green flag run, more so? And so, like, I noticed you pit a little bit later to kind of set yourself up for what it looks like your comfort zone.
Well, first off, I got to give props to Bobby because he was in my zip code tonight. He was there. I mean, he's awesome. He's a now 9-time FTSR champion. So anytime you can pull a win away from Bobby, it's just an amazing night. But to answer your question, it really depends. Like the first one pit stop, I actually went 1 lap longer than I should have. I should have pitted right behind him, and that extra lap got him out a little bit further. So that second run, by the time I caught him, my tires were shot. Then with the aero push that I was getting, it was really tough to get by him. So the second time, I wanted him to pit first, and then I was going to pit, which is what I got.
Yeah, we noticed that on the second pit stop, that as soon as he came down that next lap, you were right there, and it definitely showed the distance that you closed there on the gap. And we noticed that you stuck to that inside. Most of the race we were watching, you were on that inside the whole time. And is that just where you felt comfortable with that setup that you had in there, that the inside was the best place for your truck?
It seems with the trucks, because of the lack of the horsepower, when you start to move up, for me, it loses time. I just can't be as fast with the trucks, even later in the run and the outside against somebody who's running decently on the bottom. So, I mean, I'm a catfish. That was actually a nickname that other league gave me at some point, was Catfish Coy. I like the bottom of the racetrack. I'm not a fan of up by the wall. But yeah, very comfortable. Setup was awesome tonight. Yeah, it just what a race.
Yeah, it was a pretty awesome race. Watching from the booth overall, just battles all across the field. You know, you and Bobby hashing it out, and then 5th through 10th are on a little 5-truck pack. Just kind of really impressing us in the booth. But yeah, congratulations once again, man. As always, we like to give that moment to allow you to give thanks to anyone that's watching out there in the nerd TV world.
Well, I want to say congratulations to Bobby on his championship. That's 9 championships for him. I mean, he's the king at this particular point. Awesome race with him again tonight. That was fantastic. Great way to end the season. Shout out to Tony's mom and family watching. They mentioned during the race that they were watching. So thanks for watching. And thanks to my teammate. My team, unfortunately, they got wrecked on lap 1. Go figure, both of them in the same wreck. But so I had 2 spotters, 3 if you count my crew chief app. So I had 3 spotters during the race. So it was, they're helpful with the pit stops and tell me where people are. Thanks to the league. We had a great season, I think. I can't wait for season 2022B. I got a new sponsor coming on board for the trucks next year. So I can't wait to debut that in, I think, 2 weeks. Thanks again to you guys, doing a fantastic job. And hope to do it again on Monday.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and 2 things. I did say whenever that wreck happened that we're going to count on you to kind of hold up the team, and you definitely did not let down. And also, you had a little request last week, and you're more than welcome to be part of the Nerds as well. So that door is wide open for you. But yeah, man, congratulations once again, and go ahead and celebrate with the team.
All right, I forgot to mention that this also solidified Fury Motorsports, the constructors championships with the trucks, which is awesome as well.
That is a stat to definitely shout out as well. So congratulations on Fury Motorsports for holding that down and collecting that trophy for the manufacturer.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. All right, that was your first place finisher to close out the season, Mr. Richie Coy. Great race overall, I would say, Kenny. This is one of the tracks I kind of look forward to when I see it on the schedule. And I knew it was going to be a good race, but I didn't think it was going to be this good. That was actually quite enjoyable there to close out the season.
Yeah, it was awesome side-by-side racing pretty much the whole race, even between the two leaders. So it was just amazing racing. Like you said, I was anticipating good racing, but that was great racing.
Absolutely. Well, I know there's going to be no truck race next week. In 2 weeks, on May 27th, they do resume for Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're kind of sticking with the actual world schedule, right? So we got Charlotte, then we have the Gateway, Sonoma, then to Knoxville. So with the dirt stuff, that's a pretty cool opening 4 weeks for the trucks. But next week, there's no trucks. There's still going to be action on the track. We got the All-Star events coming up as well. You see the schedule right there. That kind of finishes out. Or actually, that's going to be the Cup schedule. So we got one more race on Monday for the Cup. But next week as well, on Wednesday, is when the All-Star events start taking place. We're going to settle out the little All-Star event, which that race also will be hosted on Nerd TV as well. So stay tuned for that. Really, it's going to be a fun one. The Monday after the season finale for the Cup, guys. So before we close out things, though, I'd like to once again give thanks to everyone out there that allows us to do this for you guys every Monday and Wednesday, and continuing to do so as we enter in the second season of 2022. So shout out first and foremost to the place that lets us do this, Full Throttle Sim Racing. Thank you guys for all your support for the Nerditudes, and it's been a great season. Definitely looking forward to the second season. And head over to ftsr.net. Get a part of this league. As you see it, these guys are awesome. Very few cautions, and I know a lot of people hate cautions. So if you want to be part of green flag action, this is the place to do it. ftsr.net. And then Sim Racing Points, of course, official truck series sponsor every Wednesday. Also support the nerds at Nerditudes. We're going to go to simracingpoints.com. Get that software for your league. It is the best software to use to manage all your points, all the stats that you need to. And it comes with friendly website widgets or full page displays. Once again, simracingpoints.com. Shout out to Martin Sports. It's martinsports906.com, home of the sim gloves of all of sim racing. They also have shirts, hoodies, and hats. And as I always mention at the end, the nerd swag stuff. Pre-orders are up. Save 25% off of anything that you purchase there when you use your promo code SUPERNERD. iRacing iFlag, iRacingIFlag.com. It's that flag/indication system, really bright 3D printed unit that sits on your desk. It takes care of all the notifications that your spotter will announce to you on iRacing. And you're going to use Super Nerd at checkout for 15% off of that product. It's one of a kind. It's very awesome. You got to get your hands on one. It just kind of completes the sim rig. And then the Butt Kicker, the official audio enhancement provider of Nerditudes. Go to thebuttkicker.com. Grab yourself the Gamer 2 unit. Install it on your racing chair or your sim rig, whatever you're racing in. And get that much needed feel and that peak performance that you're going to need to get the job done. You're going to use Nerd TV at checkout, 20% off. And then quick shout out to Nerd Focus at nerdfocus.com. Use promo code SUPERNERD at checkout for 10% off of their 2 awesome flavored drinks. Shout out to Moonlight Speed Concepts. That's moonlightspeed.com. Find them on Twitter. Professional asphalt setups across the board for asphalt oval. If you want to get that much needed W in that wind column, that's the place to go. Moonlightspeed.com. And then houseofspeed.us. House of Speed provides the official setups for Nerditudes and for a lot of other dirt racers out there on the oval side. So if you need some wins on the dirt oval, that's the place to go. houseofspeed.us. All right, Kenny. Season 2022A comes to a close for the Truck Series. So, as I've said, May 27th, put that on your calendar. That's going to be Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Charlotte 200 to open the second season of 2022 for the Sim Racing Points Truck Series. Until then, you guys always stay safe out there and get your nerd on.
Later, nerds.